right with the island plan and what you can do. Because if I talk about this without any hinterland of support, I won't get anywhere. I want all the parish councils and the town councils to support, and so far they have, thank you. I need the county council and the county councillors to support, and they're making good noises, but we've just got to make sure we work together to seal the deal. And then most importantly, I need community support, which is where you come in. Because if I'm not acting on your behalf, I'm not acting. I need your voices to count as well. So, firstly, what is the island plan? The island plan is a document that we are more or less legally obliged to produce because we're in great jeopardy if we don't produce it. And it lists housing targets which are developed around a flawed methodology for what we need. So, for example, the island's population is due to increase by some statistics by the grand total of 0.001% over the next 15 years. So not a great amount. The island plan wants 9,000 more houses. The only age group that will increase will be the over 75s. Now, I love retirees, they'll vote Conservative, it's wonderful to have communities. But as someone who cares about the Isle of Wight, I need youngsters to stay on the island. And if you're a person who wants to retire here, that's fabulous. That's what the back of the county press is for. The only houses that we should be planning as part of our planning system, and you know, we don't have a free market in housing ever since the Town Planning Act of 1947. It's a state-controlled market, which the free market liberals would say that's one of the problems, but it's also the thing that prevents the military road being sort of wall-to-wall housing and all the downs being wall-to-wall housing as well. So there's good things about it. What I need to see, the only targets that we should be building is for young people to keep them on the island. And also for old folks when they're downsizing and they want to give up their 4-bedroom house and they want to move into 1- or 2-bedroom accommodation. So the island plan target says 9,000 houses. Most of those are going to be built stipulated for by developers because the developers are going to be doing the building for the most part, not entirely, and I'll come to that, because the island is trying to do good things and the councillors are trying to do good things. But most of the developers want to build 3- and 4-bedroom houses for people to retire here because that's what sells. And they want to do it on green fields outside Bedbridge where your kids play, where some of you were brought up playing. Because that's what sells and that's easy. They don't have to clean up a brownfield site, they don't have to decontaminate it, they can just knock down a few beautiful old trees and start building their bricks. The problem is, for us, it damages our quality of life, and it actually damages our economy, because a lot of our economy is bound up in the visitor economy. People come to the Isle of Wight to be inspired by the beauty of our landscape, not the beauty of our housing estates. And that's why we need to preserve that. Now, I'm going to just run through some of the flaws with the island plan before I come to my solutions and how I'm working with the Campaign for the Protection of Rural England, who are doing really good work on developing a new methodology. So there is good news as well as concern. And I'm not just here to scare people, but I'm here to make sure that we work together to deliver what we want. And I need you to do it as well. I can't do it on my own. The current plan is unrealistic. Our building industry in the Isle of Wight can just about build 300 homes a year, flat out. That's what they've been building, between 250 and 300 for the last 10 years. If we try and agree a target, an annual target of 641 homes, which is what the government wants us to do, we are in jeopardy. We won't be able to reach that target, and the developers will say, because you have failed to reach the target, we will buy any green field we want, and the presumption will be, if it's outside an AONB, the presumption will be that they will be allowed to develop any greenfield site on the Isle of Wight outside an AONB. That's the law. That's the law. It's been changed and weakened, I'm ashamed to say, by Conservative government. I thought conservatism was about conserving, not about developing. But that is the reality of the situation. So we can't agree a 641 target without being in serious hazard of damaging the island very considerably. And I've said that to the council. The councillors are also understanding the pressure that is coming from you folks as well. And it is important that we're here and elsewhere we communicate that to our councillors, because they're the people who control these things. I have influence, but I don't have power. These developments are not being built for islanders. 3 and 4 bedroom houses is predominantly for a southeast retirement market. Now, as I said, that's great. That's what the county press is there for. Lots of homes are always for sale, generally at a discount, because things don't sell as fast on the island. We do have a great economy on the island, and actually we're getting wealthy, we're getting better. We have Vestas, so we make all those massive wind blades for the offshore wind turbines. We make all the Royal Navy's radars in West Cowes. GKN Aerospace do great work in East Cowes. We have artificial intelligence. We have lots of good things happening, but we still need our landscape for our quality of life, and for our tourism, and to make ourselves a beautiful place to visit. The island plan is genuinely, in a very pure term of the word, utterly unsustainable. Because just using development, just building an economy, or a chunk of an economy, on building houses on greenfield sites, on a small island like the Isle of Wight, you very quickly hit a critical point where you ruin quality of life. And in 5 or 10 years' time, we will hit that with a bang. Because most of the east of the island and most of the north of the island will come under development pressure, especially if we agree these horrible targets that we have been set. The reason why we are being forced to do this, and it's not a criticism of the council, it sounds like it, but hear me out. We have the smallest unitary council in Britain. We are struggling. We don't have the depth of talent. We have some really good people in the council. We have good councillors, genuinely, and we have some good council officers. But there's individuals where for Hampshire there would be dozens of people. We don't have the bandwidth to fight government. So when this frustrated the housing minister says to me, well, Bob, you know, you can do this, you can do that, you can do the other. I say, no, you can't, kid. Because the reality is, the way that the system has developed in the last 40 years is that local government takes instruction from central government, and it doesn't challenge targets because it knows it gets into trouble if it does. That's where political will comes in. I need my voice to count. I'm quite good at kicking things, I enjoy it. We need the councillor's voice to count. We need the council officers to be on site and do what we, the political representatives, your political servants, are telling them to do. And we need with a unified voice to say no. And that's what we're doing at the moment. We're building a coalition. And I'll come to that for things that we can collectively do together. So genuinely it's not sustainable. There's no infrastructure on the island either. We've added 15,000 houses in the last 15, 20 years. Who's seen any extra roads? Has anyone spotted an extra road? I haven't. We have 2/3 of a mile dual carriageway. We're never going to get any more dual carriageway. And I'm not sure we actually want any more dual carriageway. I'd love to get the railway extended. I'm working on it. There'll be some good news, I hope, with railway funding. We'll see what happens. But we were never, ever going to have critical infrastructure of the uplift needed because it doesn't make economic sense. And the reason it doesn't make economic sense is because we're an island, and something called the Green Book of Valuation, which is how government works out if something's good value, it's limited. We can't say a road in Ryde is going to mean you're more prosperous in Fareham or Farnham or Portsmouth because we're not connected to it. So Green Book valuations work for every bit of the United Kingdom. That's not an island. But if you're an island, we don't get the infrastructure requirement. We don't get the infrastructure we need because the sums never add up. And again, you say this to the government, and there is a certain deafness because they think, yeah, the Isle of Wight, you're not really an island because we can see you from the mainland. Everyone's granny lives there, and it's really sunny, and isn't it fun to go to? Yeah, that's not a definition of being an island. The definition of being an island is that you have to get there by a ferry. And by that definition, a very typical definition of being separated by water, we are an island. Now, we had a big victory earlier this year. I got the island recognised as an island. In the local government fair funding formula, page 42, paragraph 2391, I can't quite remember, it says specifically the Isle of Wight is an island, we have to work out the additional costs. first time in our history, we've actually been recognised in practical terms as an island. I said I'd do it when I was studying for Parliament 2.5 years ago. So on the first day of this lecture, we're recognised. We've done it. We are now officially an island. And they are working out how much extra money that is going to give us. They reckon for a passenger ferry that adds 35 miles, in terms of cost, timing, and all that sort of thing. For a car ferry, it's the equivalent of a journey from London to Peterborough, or indeed London to Southampton, about 70 miles. Southampton's a bit further, so about 70 miles. So we're winning battles, but slowly. I'm working on some of these issues with the leadership candidates to see if they're going to offer us a deal. We'll see. There's many stuff, I've said to all of them, I have 800 votes here, I've got 1/40 of the total you need, let's talk. Because some people say, I'm going to get a job, I say, you have to deliver for my islanders, and if you do that, maybe you get my support. So what's the solution? Simply put, I want something achievable, so we can't not build. So what I want is to halve the numbers, from 640 to about 300. It's just not manageable. The critical bit here is to unite everybody in our community. So it's not just people who like walking their dogs over the green fields, it's not just people who've got a lovely garden and don't want to have it developed, it's our youngsters as well. I want almost every single home that's going to be built on the island to be built by the council. I'm a big fan of council housing. I want it built by the council, I want it built by a housing association, I want it built for a social and moral purpose. I want 1 and 2 bedroom, 3 and 4 bedroom. We need to keep the youngsters here for the jobs and to develop a balanced economy and have a balanced population. But we also need to build some for the little old ladies and bungalows when they move out. I want the government to institute something called a bungalow fund, where there's a presumption, and it may come with the new zoning freedoms. So the way to add stories in London and elsewhere. It may be that actually we have a presumption in favour that when a housing association buys a bungalow for a lady or gentleman who go and live in a nursing home or go in one of the sheltered accommodation that we're building, and we are building them 1,000 units over the next 10 years, that is good, that needs to happen. When the housing association or the council buys that bungalow and gets a bit of money from the government to make it affordable, there's an assumption that they can put another story on, or knock it down and build 3 houses on that site. And that way, you increase density a little bit, you marginally increase density in existing communities without having to go into greenfield sites. So in reality, what I want to see is a housing industry that builds 200 really lovely, good quality, island stone, traditional looking housing, not some boxy tat built by Persimmons or something. Good quality, island style, 200 new homes maybe a year, and repurposing bungalows so you increase the density of those bungalows by turning them into 2 properties, 3 properties, however many depending on the size of the plot of the bungalow. And in that way, we can meet demand, we can fulfill a moral and social obligation to our young people and our old folks. We can keep our economy, our building economy going, and we protect our landscape, which means for you and for me, it's protecting our quality of life, our children's quality of life, our grandparents' quality of life, etc. And we can meet government halfway. Now at the moment, the government's saying we're not really interested, but I've got quite my hopes of Boris, so I think I'm not wrong. And he may come to the argument, so we'll have a chat with him about that. What else? I wanted to say one other point about, the critical thing is, when we were working out about 6 months ago, thinking, how on earth can we do this? And I was wading through some of the most boring documents I've ever read in my life, and I wish none of you ever have to read them, but I mean, they were a great cure for insomnia. We found in the planning policy guidelines, on, I don't know what page it was, it will come to me in a minute, exceptional circumstance. You can plead exceptional circumstance if you come up with a decent methodology. You can't just say, oh, we want to build 10 houses or 1,000. You have to come up with exceptional circumstance, but that is the phrase. So, our answer to our problem is that they, the council guys, I'm looking at Brian at the back because he's a councillor, the council commit to work with me to get a new methodology for working out how many housing we need, and we plead exceptional circumstance to the government as part of an island deal. And that island deal means the government is sympathetic to our requests because it understands pretty bluntly that we're an island. And that means something practical. That we build 300, we make available 300 properties a year. I mean, I'll give you an example of that, just as an aside. Does anyone have a guess how many properties that are on the Isle of Wight lived in by one person? Just somebody shout out a figure. 1,500, 2,000? Any guesses?
10%.
10%. There's 40,000 homes. No, at least 3 times more than that. There are 15,000 properties on the Isle of Wight lived in by one person. That is a phenomenal amount. And within the next 10 years, some of those people will pass away, but a lot of them will be moving into what sheltered accommodation, if we had it, we're building it now, or they'll be moving into nursing homes. So there is the opportunity to buy up a considerable amount of housing stock if the public money is there. Now again, I'm sorry to be technical and dull. The problem is at the moment, the council, to its enormous credit, is trying to set up a housing company so it can develop its own sites. So we have 35 sites. Why on earth we're considering these wretched development building on greenfield sites when we have 35 sites to develop, including Camp Hill? I do not know. I really do not know. Just bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. But we can't get access to the 9 billion that the government is making available because we don't have something called a housing revenue account. We don't have an income to borrow against. So therefore it's going to take years to build up that income. In the meanwhile, the council will panic and knock through another 5 penny feathers, which is this 900 Boxy Home estate south of Ryde, which the good news is it's probably never going to happen because they can't afford the £12 million in infrastructure costs to widen the roads around it. Hallelujah, I hope they go bankrupt. So summing up, I didn't mean that, by the way. I mean, I love these property developers, I'm sure they love it. So, what do I want? I want us to put the island first, always. I want the council, this is where you come in. So what can you do? Write to your councillors. You need more than sympathy. Say to them, will you pledge to support exceptional circumstance? Will you pledge to oppose the current targets? I don't want them saying, oh, we don't really like housing, because they'll nod it through anyway. They have to pledge to oppose the island plan as it stands. And they have to then say that they pledge to support our efforts, so you the communities, you the parish councils, and the wonderful work you do, thank you again, me as your Member of Parliament, and it's a wonderful opportunity to represent and speak on your behalf, and it is a massive privilege, thank you every day, thank you. And the council, that you have to get that promise from them. I'm giving you that promise now because this is my campaign and I want it to happen. Because this is the most important thing for me. Not only not to see the island ruined, but actually to make sure we keep our youngsters and we make sure we keep our island alive and a wonderful place to be during our lifetime. So we handle on something really positive and really good. I want us to halve, more than halve our targets, leading exceptional circumstance to 300. So probably 200 new build, high density. High density is high quality. High density housing in Europe is Kensington. Nobody complains about high density there. There's nothing wrong with high density because you're near public services, you don't need cars. Greenfield sites is just cars, 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 and people trapped on housing estates. They're miserable places. You want to be in communities where people are, because that's how you get quality of life. So we need to halve our targets, but critically, everything, almost everything. If Christopher Scott, some good developers on the Isle of Wight, they want to build great houses in Cowes, or they want to buy a plot in Benbridge or put something really beautiful and spectacular, then good luck to them. I wish them well, and that's all part of our great economy. But I want 90% plus of the houses that we plan to build to have real social purpose. So 1 and 2 bed, not 3 or 4 bedroom for a nebulous southeast retirement housing market, but 1 and 2 bedroom for islanders, young and old, because that's what our communities need to build a balanced community in the future. Right, so what can you do? I have a petition and a survey online. It's pretty objective. I'm not saying it's the most objective thing you're ever going to read, because clearly I have an opinion on this. Fill out the survey, sign the petition. Over 4,000 people have already done so. I want 20,000 by the end of the summer. Talk to other people, send them the link. Write to the county press. How many people have written to the county press about this? Everyone should go and write to the county press over the next few months. Complain. Just drop a letter saying this island plan is wrong. All the information about what you need to say is on the website where the survey is, and if I'm feeling creative, I'm going to remember it. It's islandvision.uk.
Islandvision.uk.
Thanks, Bosco. Islandvision.uk/island plan. So everyone go there and fill out that form, pass it on to people, put the word around, use the material there to write to the county press, write to your councillors. So your councillors are good people, right? Conservatives, and they're sensible guys. The Labour people are good people, and Liberals likewise. So all our councillors are great. Michael Liddy arrived as a top bloke, he's an independent Greek. I'm not complaining about any of them. Get them to pledge not to support the island plan in its current form. Get them to pledge to work together with me, as they're already doing, but reinforce this for exceptional circumstances, so we can deliver housing for islanders in reasonable amounts in existing communities to improve, not detract from our quality of life. And is there anything else? Is that it? I'd love to read my writing at this point, but I don't think I can. No, I think that's probably about it, really. That's the really important thing. Okay, I've been talking for about 20 minutes. I said I wouldn't go on too long, and that gives us a good 20 minutes, half an hour for questions, and then we can all be away by 8 and enjoy a really, really beautiful evening. Is it midsummer? Is it 21st today? It is midsummer. What a wonderful evening. Thank you so much indeed for listening, and we'd love to have some questions.